Hello, guys, and welcome back. I'm Elmo,
I'm Tuna.
and we are going to be looking at the last 2 weeks of our predictions and predicting next week's scores. It's been it's been a crazy 2 weeks. Um, it's been a crazy week in terms of how many games there's been played and the results as well. So it's definitely interesting. So shall we start off with
Let's just dive in.
Yeah, game week 15, we started off with Leicester 2, Manchester United 2. I had 3-2 win to Man United, so I just needed that one more goal, but I got nothing for that.
And I just didn't need that late own goal because I had 2-1 to Manchester United. So no points there either. We then moved on to Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, which we both said could be a pretty decent game. It finished 3-0 to Aston Villa. I had Aston Villa winning 2-1 here, so I managed to get a point for that one.
I thought it'd be a lot closer. I had 2-2, so I got nothing for that. Fulham vs Southampton was 0-0, and I predicted Southampton 3-0, so again, nothing.
Yeah, I had Southampton 2-0 in this one, so no points there either. Arsenal then played Chelsea, which Arsenal won, perhaps surprisingly 3-1. I expected it to go the typical way of the big games this season and in a draw, so I went with 0-0, so no points there.
And I went completely opposite, and I thought Chelsea were going to battle Arsenal, so I had 3-0 to Chelsea. So again, 4 matches and no points. So here where I got my first point, Man City 2, Newcastle 0, and I predicted 2-1 to Man City.
Yeah, he just needed that one Newcastle goal, which I also wanted a Newcastle goal, but I wanted one more City goal as well. I had 3-1, which gave me my second point this week. We then had Sheffield United versus Everton, which Everton won 1-0. I continued my trend of not backing Everton at all. Had Sheffield United to win 2-1, and yeah, no points there.
And I got another point. Uh, I predicted 2-0 to Everton, so I just needed that one more goal for perfect score. Leeds United versus Burnley. So that was a 1-0 win to Leeds. I predicted 2-1 to Burnley just because Leeds was all over the place.
I had 2-1 also, but to Leeds, so I got my third point with that game. West Ham then drew 2-2 with Brighton in another decent game, one that we expect to be a decent game. I went 3-1 to Brighton, so right amount of goals, but just spread incorrectly, so no points there.
And I predicted 1-0 to Brighton. I'm trying to give them the win, but they're just not taking it. So I got nothing. Um, Liverpool West Brom surprisingly finished 1-1. And we both predicted a decent game there. I predicted 4-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, whereas I had 3-1, so again, no points there for either of us. And the final game of the week was Wolves versus Tottenham, which again finished 1-1. I went for a 3-0 Tottenham win in this one, so no points. I finished with 3 overall.
And I went for the surprise 2-1 win to Wolves. So nothing there. And a very poor 2 points. A very poor week for both of us, but you got the week win of a 3-2 win.
Yay! You
Uh,
match our lowest score overall, and obviously that's your worst week now as well. So
yeah, that was a shocking. I mean, if that was a score in a football game, that'd be a good game, but in our
yeah,
predictions, that's just awful. Game week 16, so these was played uh, the week between Christmas and New Year. And we started off with another Leicester game, this time Crystal Palace versus Leicester, and it was 1-1. And I predicted a 3-1 win to Leicester.
you did. I opened this week up with a point here. I went for 2-2, so I get a point for the draw. We then had Chelsea play Aston Villa, which also finished 1-1. I went for a surprise Aston Villa win here and 3-2 to them, so I get nothing for this one.
And I went 3-1 to Chelsea, so again, I got nothing. Fantastic start for me. The next game was actually postponed. Man City had to close their training ground due to multiple COVID positives. So the Man City vs Everton game was called off and will be replayed at some point. God knows
Yeah,
when they'll
so
find time to to play that.
obviously we'll repredict that one when it
Yeah,
finally gets announced, whenever that is.
yeah.
Um, the next game did go ahead, which was Brighton versus Arsenal, which Arsenal got a 1-0 win in this one. So back-to-back wins for Arsenal now.
Mm.
I had 1-0, but to Brighton, so no points for me.
And I had 1-1. I was sick of predicting Brighton to win and then failing, and I just didn't want to give Arsenal a win. So I went 1-1 and got nothing again. Burnley beat Sheffield United 1-0. I predicted 2-0 to Burnley, so I was close.
And I went with you on this one. I also had 2-0, so we both could have done with that extra goal just for a perfect score each
Hmm.
to stop that rock, because we've been not very good recently at all.
No.
Speaking of not very good, Southampton versus West Ham was 0-0. It was a terrible game. I went 1-0 to West Ham, so no points there.
And I went 2-1 to Southampton, so again, no points. West Brom versus Leeds. I predicted this was going to be a big game. Leeds won 5-0, and I went 3-0 to Leeds, so I got my second point of the week.
And I went 3-1 to Leeds, so I got another point there. That's 3 for me now. Manchester United then played Wolves, which finished 1-0 to Manchester United. I had a 2-1 win, so I got my fourth point there even. I didn't get 4 points, I got 4 overall that time.
And I predicted 2-1 as well, so I got my third point of the week, which is still quite poor. The next game was Tottenham versus Fulham, and again, this one was postponed due to Fulham and the amount of positive COVID tests that they've had. So again, that will be replayed, and we'll predict our scores when that is played.
And then the final game was Newcastle versus Liverpool, which was our second 0-0 this week. I went 2-1 to Liverpool, so no points there, finishing on 4.
And I went for a surprising score of 2-1 to Newcastle, and I got nothing, but it was still a surprising score, to be honest with you, and a decent, not so much a decent game, but Newcastle gave Liverpool a decent game. 3 points, so a very poor score. It's how many you got last week, and you won, but still, I lost the game week.
I mean, we're both slowly improving at least.
It's
In fact,
been
my last 3 weeks have been 2, 3, 4, so I'm expecting 5 this week.
um, the games are just all over the place. I don't know if it's just um, players being tired or just how the season's going because nobody's predicting. Nobody predict where some of the teams actually are so far this season. So it's
We
very
certainly didn't.
difficult. No.
I
um,
mean, this is now your longest run with no perfect scores. You're now on 54 games. Um, you're just 11 behind my record now of 65. So you
I'm going to get
confident of
one.
getting that around?
I'm going to get
Okay.
one this week. Um, I think I'll get one this week, but obviously last week we had 2 games postponed, so there's always a risk of another game getting postponed in this game week or multiple games getting postponed. So
Yeah,
you just
obviously,
never know.
as we're recording, Man City have reopened their training ground, but we know nothing more about Fulham yet. So that one game is definitely very much a question mark at least. But
And
record high positive test this week in the Premier League.
yes, and obviously in real life as well, the numbers of positives and the number of deaths and everything going up, the amount of amount of places going in tier 4, which is a complete lockdown, and the rest are in tier 3. So no teams are having fans back into the stadiums, which it was nice to have some fans back, and even the players and the managers have said that it was nice to have at least 2,000 fans in the stadium. But now they can't even have that, so we just don't know what's happening. I have read that the Premier League have got no plans whatsoever to have a break, even though the numbers are going up. But they will reconvene in the new year, and I believe if it's more than 14 Premier Leagues vote of having a break, then they have to have one anyway. So
I mean, I imagine you're on the same boat as me as we're making these predictions, and the league could be postponed at any moment. So it's bad enough making predictions on in a normal season,
yeah,
but when I say you don't even know if a game's going to go ahead or anything, you don't know who's going to be missing. I mean, you probably get to what 5 minutes before kickoff and still not know if a player's going to have a positive test come through, as we've seen elsewhere. So it's
yeah.
crazy. So I think we're just pulling random numbers out at this point, and
I think that's all you can do. If you have a look at some of the results, so who really would have thought that Newcastle had drawn against Liverpool, and who would have thought that Liverpool's last two games, Newcastle and West Brom, would have been draws? You
yeah,
look at Leeds, you'd expected a Leeds win, but Leeds winning 5-0 against West Brom and absolutely smashing Newcastle as well the other week. It's just, Arsenal finally coming back. They've had a very poor season. Um, Chelsea Villa 1-1. Leicester's all over the place as well. 1 minute they're playing really well and they go on a decent run, and next minute they just start throwing points away.
Wolves similar. They'll turn up for 1 out every 3 games. Tottenham
Man,
on a poor run.
Man City, um, you just
I
don't
mean,
know anymore.
there's only one consistent so far this season, and that's Sheffield United being crap. So,
But they picked up a point in the last
I
couple of
mean,
weeks.
they're not actually playing bad though. That's the thing as
Yeah.
well. So they're unlucky in some of the defeats, but we'll see if you finally give them a victory, shall we?
Well, let's see. So we start off, and all these games are played from the 1st of January, so New Year's Day, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So we start off on Friday. We have two games. 5:30 kickoff on BT Sport. We have Everton versus West Ham, and I've gone for a 2-0 win to Everton.
Interesting. I've used some formula again this week, and as much as I don't want to, I have Everton winning 3-1.
I never
So
thought you would ever predict them to win again.
I didn't want to, but I've used data. And to be fair, West Ham are playing pretty poorly as well at the moment. So
The second game on Friday, 8 o'clock kickoff on Sky Sports, is Manchester United versus Aston Villa.
yeah, and I have Manchester United picking up another win here and another 3-1 scoreline I'm going with here.
So I've gone for 4-1 in this one to Man United, um, hoping that we can score some goals against them. And just Villa's just all over the place, so they could turn up and they could give us a game or just not. Saturday, 12 on BT Sports this is going to be an interesting game. Tottenham Hotspur versus Leeds United. I've gone for a 3-1 win to Leeds United. I think
Oh wow.
Bielsa's. I think Mourinho. I mean, Tottenham's going on a bit of a slide at the moment. I think Mourinho is going to try and outmaster Bielsa, and he's not going to be able to do it.
It is a complete clash of styles in this one. Obviously, Bielsa is very much attacking. Mourinho is incredibly negative. But I'm going for a 2-1 Tottenham win. I think they're going to hit Leeds on the counter attack a couple of times, and with pace of Son up front, you definitely think they can do it. So I think it'll be a good game, very good game. I think we could easily see a lot of goals in that game.
Yeah, and like you say, Bielsa's very attacking. And one thing that I noticed against us, even though we was like winning 4-1 at half time, he didn't change his like tactics or anything like that. It just still went attacking. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. 3 o'clock kickoff. We've got Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United on Sky Sports.
Yeah, I'm not backing Sheffield United. I've got Crystal Palace to end their slump 2-0 victors.
Okay, so I've gone different. I don't think Sheffield United's going to get a win, but I've gone 1-1. Palace aren't looking good at the moment. R5 on Sky Sports, Brighton versus Wolves. I've gone for a 2-0 win for Wolves.
I've also got Wolves winning. I've gone 2-1 though. I think Brighton will probably manage to grab a goal. This
Brighton
is one of
just
them
letting me
interesting
down.
ones. Let's say, depending which one of these teams turns up, obviously Wolves can be fantastic. They could be rubbish. Brighton tend to always turn up and give a game, but never really seem to come out with a result. So it should be an interesting watch.
Mm.
2-0 now.
8 o'clock on Sky Sports is West Brom versus Arsenal.
Yeah, massive clash down at the bottom there. I'm going for a 1-1 draw, continuing West Brom's run of draws against the big clubs.
So I'm disappointed in this because I've gone for a 1-1 as well.
Okay.
I don't want to give Arsenal a win, even though they're on a 2-game winning streak. I think 3 wins will give them a nosebleed. And yeah, like you say, West Brom seemed at the moment under Sam Allardyce, they'll not turn up, then they'll turn up and they'll draw against like did against Liverpool, and then they'll just get smashed by another team. So
Yeah.
Sunday at 12 o'clock we have Burnley versus Fulham on Sky Sports. I've gone for a 1-0 win to Burnley.
Another relegation 6 point at the moment. I've also got Burnley winning, but I've gone 2-1.
Then 2:15 on Sky Sports is Newcastle versus Leicester.
Yeah, a tough one to call again, but I have got Leicester coming away with a victory in this one. I've gone 2-1 to Leicester.
I've gone similar to you, but I've gone 3-1, so just that one extra goal. 4:30 on Sunday on Sky Sports is Chelsea versus Man City, the big game. I've gone for a 1-0 win to Man City.
I've sort of gone along the big game mantra. I've gone for a draw, but 1-1 this time, not 0-0.
I nearly put 0-0, but I was worried you were going to do, so I had to change it. And then just the one game on Monday night on Sky Sports, 8 o'clock, Southampton versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I've got Liverpool winning 3-1. I think if I perhaps predicted this without like looking at what I did look at, then it'd probably been a different score. But I'm going with that, and yeah, Liverpool 3-1.
I, I don't know. I kind of want to change my thing at the moment because I mean Liverpool at the moment they're on 2 games, 2 draws, so I think they'll come out fighting. But I've gone for a 2-1 win to Southampton. Um, I don't know if that's because I don't want Liverpool to win, or if it's because I have faith in Southampton taking it to them. Liverpool aren't looking great at the moment.
In Southampton are 4 games hard to win, and they haven't scored in 3 weeks.
Doesn't matter this season, does it?
And is Danny Ings back?
Not sure.
I don't think he is he?
No.
Who knows? Who actually knows? He could be back. He
I mean,
could be laid in hospital on a ventilator for all we know. So
it's gone till Monday to turn up, so we'll see. So that's our predictions then, and it's going to be interesting to see if any or all of the games go ahead. Like you say, if any of the players end up having to miss due to positive tests, it's 2021. We don't know what's going to happen yet. So that's
yeah,
us for that's us for this year. So we'll be back again next week
it
with
is.
our predictions, and I just don't know what to expect anymore. I do
Have
want
a
to
happy strange
apologise.
new year.
Yeah, I do want to apologise for the lack of match reviews, the amount of games that there has been, and obviously no breaks in between as well. So literally, I've been game after game after game with work and life and everything like that. We just haven't found the time to do anything. So we won't be doing the match reviews for the
No,
last 4 game weeks, but we will continue starting again next week. So we will give you game reviews for these games.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know our opinions on a specific game, then you can always ask us in the comments. Come ask us on Twitter. I'll happily let you know what I thought about certain games. I'm sure you will as well. So
I mean, ask me if I thought it was a penalty. It probably wasn't for most of the games, especially Wilson. But
you'll
check
probably
out our
ask me about a
socials.
game in my memory. Not too sure where I'm probably on about wrong game, but I'll tell you anyways.
Yeah. Check out our socials down below. Please subscribe. Please give this video a like and please comment as well. I've been Elmo. I hope you have a good
I-
2021
I've been Tuna. Have a safe, happy new year.
and see you later.